Hello everyone, welcome to Game 13 of the World Championship match between Steinitz and Zukertort. Steinitz has recently taken a 2-point lead in the match, and so things are looking good because he was down 3 points, so that's a 5-point swing. In this game we had another isolated pawn battle. As you see, the pawn on d4 is isolated. And the question I'm asking is black to move. What should you play here for black? Okay. I'm going to show the move now. I'm not going to say anything about it, though. And then I'm going to ask you another question. So Steinitz played the move knight to d6. Question number 2. What should white play in response to knight to d6? Alright, so this is a very key moment. And today's modern grandmasters and masters would play this situation better just because the ideas are so well known. When you're facing an isolated pawn like this, usually we want to kind of restrict that pawn. And white's plan is usually to attack, but there's one move that if white can play this one move, usually the position becomes quite comfortable for white. Because white's pieces have more scope, they're usually more actively posted. The problem is just this pawn is weak, and that's what gives black all the compensation. However, if white can play the move d5 successfully, and eliminate their weakness. Usually after the pawns get traded off and liquidated in the center, white's pieces are better posted than black's. Therefore, knight d6 was a mistake, and white should have responded with d5, which would give white a clear advantage in the game. Instead of knight d6, what should black do instead? Well, there's a few options, but I think the most logical move is bishop to c6. Putting the bishop on a good diagonal, stopping d5, and if, for example, bishop takes, pawn takes. Now, if queen takes, we win a piece with bishop takes f3. But if knight e5, something like bishop to d5, and our position is solid and good. Instead, after this, both sides erred. After knight d6 was a slight mistake, and Zukertort did not even find d5. He played the move knight e5. And after bishop e8, d5 is no longer quite as strong because the queen is not attacking the bishop. And just to clarify, since I didn't explain that, we can never take with the pawn because of queen takes bishop on e7. So an instructive moment. After that, the game was really interesting. It was a long game. Zukertort ended up winning, but the main instructive feature of this game was the concept of pushing this pawn to d5. And as we move on in history and see other players play these types of positions, you're not going to see mistakes like this quite so often. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.